Hello everybody, Sean Milburn here with Milburn Motorsports once again today. I'm here at the Thunder Hill 3 Mile. It is a Thursday. It's a private test session day with Panther Motorsport. You guys know them. I featured Reto with his Volkswagen Jetta on the channel some months ago. I think that was over half a year now. And so we're getting prepped for the next season of the US Touring Car Championship. We're all out here testing our cars. And I'm gonna go get some rides with them today in their cars, where there's not a whole lot of time we get normally during racing when we're all together to go out for rides and do that kind of stuff. So today's the day, and we're gonna go have some fun. I'll bring you guys along. Let's go see what's up. Much like a regular event, at these private days, we want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So we're gonna have a drivers meeting, get people into their appropriate classes, and then go from there. Should be a great day. So we got Reto's Jetta right here. He's done some more things to it since you guys have seen it last. And it is looking beautiful, as always. Look at this thing. It's got some more interior stuff going on. The wheel, so he switched to paddles instead of a manual. And this transmission actually works really well. So I'm excited to get a ride and see what this thing can do. I haven't been in it yet. We got Bob Accardo's Camaro stock car. This thing's a GT car in the US Touring Car Championship, and it is extremely fast. Very fast car. And it seems to hold up really well too. I mean, they don't really work on this thing all too often. See the cockpit in here, it is just completely driver oriented. No way to fit a passenger seat in there. So good stuff out here. Also got the Evo. This thing doesn't really race in the US Touring Car Championship. Reto's girlfriend is currently driving this thing. She's getting a lot better, doing some time trial classes, and getting prepped to get a racing license sometime in the future. But this is a perfect car to be doing that in. This thing is also bulletproof, always runs strong. I've never seen this car broken, which is really awesome actually. I mean, it's at the track so often and still just holds up with some basic maintenance stuff. Here we go, right along time with Reto Beaumann and his Panther Motorsport Volkswagen Jetta. We will see what this thing can do. With the guy that normally drives it behind the wheel, we'll hopefully be able to see its full capabilities. So I'm going to skip the warm-up lap and let you guys see exactly what this thing can do. Let's get right into it. So here we are flying onto the main straight after the warm-up lap. I'm going to do my best to keep my body steady so I can get a nice angle for you guys to watch Reto at work with this car. This car is very wide and has very large tires on it. So that combined with the aero really makes this thing just grip to the ground so hard. That followed by about 26 pounds of boost being pushed into the 2-liter engine is a combination for a lot of fun. Nice turn in for 6, strong run. So we're going to get a lot of speed going into 8 here. Super curious to see how fast he can go, maintain this speed. No brake, just a lift. And the car holds and plants. Very nice. Into turn 9. Came in with a little too much speed, but made it work really well on the exit. And now we're going to give it a true brake test. Let's see what it'll do on the braking zone in 10. Smooth trail brake, a little bit of rotation out of the rear. Looks like it's a little bit slippery when you're on a left-handed turn. But stays hooked up well on the right. Good run onto the straight. That's a solid first lap with Reto Beaumann behind the wheel. We're going to go for another one. Strong run into turn 1. Clean exit. Into 2. So 2 is an awesome corner because you can really tell the grip limit of a car in this corner. And he was moving really fast through that, which allows me to know that this car has a lot more traction than some of the other stuff I've driven in the past. Over 5, just a lift coming over the top, and then it's back on the throttle. The front right of the car actually comes well off the ground, coming over the crest there. Really good turn 6. You can see how late that he waited to start that turn in to give him a strong run into 7, into 8. Another lift and turn. Back on the gas. Alright, setting up for 9 again. Really good turn 9, better than last lap. Into 10. Strong on the brakes. Minor rotation again. Very good. And it is very slippery to the left. But the car stays planted, and it's just enough to scoot the car around. Heading for lap 3. So Reto was giving me a sign there that his brakes are starting to go away. So that's a good thing to test. They are trying a new compound given to them by Sparta Brakes to test and do some trials on. And we can tell that these pads don't have as much braking force as well as enough heat resistance to actually keep working for either sprint or endurance. Because each time he goes back to these brakes, there's a little bit less each time. Like right there, for example, you can see he's wide on 6 due to not having enough brake or not consistent enough brake. Pressure was not the same. Good thing for 8, you don't need them. They get a little more time to cool down before we get into 9. He had to start braking a little early, but made it work really well through the rest of the corner. So really good compensation with the brake pressure. Into 10, hard on the brakes. Get it in, and it's looking okay. Awesome. Into 11, let's see if it over-rotates a bit too much. And it does. And the car goes on by. So Rito's going to pull it in here because with those brake issues, they're going to need to pull it off, see what's going on, and resolve it, give some feedback to Sparta, as well as change the pads to something different.
Brake pedal went soft.
What was that?
Brake pedal went soft.
The brake pedal was...
It went soft.
It went soft, yeah. I could feel that the braking force started to come off. So I'm getting geared up. Rito's gonna let me take his car out and see how it is. And I feel super honored for that. Thank you so much, Reto, for letting me drive your car. And we're gonna see what it can do. I'm really, really excited. Let's get into it. All right, ready to have some fun? All right, so I'm gonna show you guys this outlap, tell you what's been going on with this car. So between the time that Reto was driving it and we were out with him, and to when I'm in the car now, unknown to all of us, there is a boost leak in the vehicle. which I find in this session right now. So 4th gear, going through turn 2, I'm in 4th gear on the throttle. The RPMs really aren't climbing. I found that really strange in the moment because when I was in the car with Reto, this car had tons of power. So it's feeling a little bit different from before. I was thinking maybe it's on like a low boost map or something along those lines. Maybe they tuned it down when I was in here driving it. But you can see I'm playing with the gears, trying to find the power. So instead of making 26 pounds of boost while I'm driving it now, the car is currently making about 6 to 9 pounds. So this thing is pretty slow on the throttle. But we're still going to have some fun and see what it can do until I figure out that there's actually a problem and that it's not just a low boost setting. Thankfully, you don't need a lot of power to feel what the car can do through the corners. See me playing with the gears again, looking for the torque. You can really hear the boost leak now. In the cabin of the car, I couldn't really hear it, but in this video, you can hear on the throttle all of the air being released through one of the charge pipes that is not seated properly. So one of the clamps probably got hot, came loose. Same problem I used to have with my Focus ST. But those are the kinds of things you run into with turbo cars. It's a lot more things that could potentially go wrong. But when they're working, they're tons of fun. So here we go, turn 1. We'll try and play with the gears, get as much torque as I can. See, as I'm entering 2 here, I'm standing all the way down on the throttle. The grip feels wonderful though. He also changed the brake pads. So these are Hawk DTC 80s, and they work way better than the pads that Reto were on.
Oh, there, now we got brakes.
Yeah, it's crazy because that boost leak you're hearing there, I did not hear that while I was driving the car. Which is another good thing for a driver to be able to recognize. So as things are happening with the car, things are changing, stuff might start to go wrong. As a driver, being able to recognize what's going on is very important. So that's why it's good. Right there, I went to shift up into 4th, used the paddle. And it didn't quite want to go, so I had to lift and wait for the car to shift. So now that I'm getting used to it, I know the brakes work stellar, and the corner speed is awesome. You can just see that corner speed through there, even with the low amount of torque that I'm able to use in the corner. Turn 8 just feels fantastic. Each corner taken in this car is just so smooth and nice, and the car really doesn't fight you, it just goes with it. As long as you have the car entering at the proper speed. And if you can hit it right, it makes your exits really, really good. Also on trail brake entry to 10 and 11, the car really responds nicely to it. So far, this lap has been really good. I feel like I've hit most of the apexes basically exactly where I need to be. So with the lack of power, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of lap time it turns out. This thing currently feels like it's got less power than the RSX, and with basically no torque, the RPMs don't really climb in fourth at all. Really strong exit out onto the straightaway. Get it back up into fourth. And it's looking like it's going to spit out a 206 here. So 206 in a car that is overweight and underpowered by a lot. That is definitely not a terrible time for 6 to 9 pounds of boost. This thing is easily under 2 minutes. It's just how far under 2 minutes is it when it's at full capacity. The quarter speed coming up on this Evo is pretty insane.
Car's not making boost pressure.
You can see how much grip the thing has through these corners. So we're gonna use this as a cool down lap, bring the car back in, and let Reto know what's going on. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you very much, Red Panther Motorsport. Thank you very much, Reto, for letting me drive your car. I got plenty more content coming for you guys in the coming days. I'm going to try and get one video out per day this week. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on before the new season of the US Touring Car Championship, which starts this weekend actually. So if I'm going to be in time for that, I'm going to get all these videos out of the way. Plenty of cool stuff on the way. It's been Sean Milburn with Milburn Motorsports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment if there's anything in specific you want to see next. Thank you very much.